Good morning, Gig Harbor, and welcome to the second video in the series of How to Tournament Silph Road. In the last video, we just kind of went through and tried to identify the Pokemon that we might be able to use, give them some smart nicknames so we can sort them and find them for testing and team management easier. This time we're going to go over using some resources. Stardust TMs, extra moves, IVs when they're important, or why they're important. So I've got my game pulled up here, and you can see I've kind of gone through and been running some test battles, so you can see some of the ones that I'm looking to use here. I'm holding on some of the ones that are just JUN because if I can get enough resources, I'm going to power them up and try them out. But first things first, with the first resource we got here is a stardust usage. Stardust is very, very difficult to come by unless you're out there grinding every day, or think you can get quite a few from raids if you're out there doing raids every day. I've got pretty limited time and I don't do a lot of raids, so it may just seem more difficult for me. But we'll click on Noctowl here. As you can see, I've got a measly little 31,000 Stardust. Well, the Stardust you can use for a couple things. You can get the new attack there for 10,000 Stardust with 25 candies. That's actually not too bad. If you roll over to some of the other ones, you've got Masquerade here, only needs 10,000. Fortress here needs 75,000 Stardust. And then you've got a couple more who need 50. See if we can find one here. All the bugs seem to only need 10. 50,000 Stardust for Vespa Queen to get a new move. That's fine. That's good. I can usually get 20 to 30 a day without trying too hard. So you're talking about a couple days worth of spending your lunch catching, maybe do a tier 1 or tier 2 raid that you can get through quickly. But what you're looking at is add moves that might be actually useful here. So say if you go up to Mr. Vigoroth here, who's going to be pretty big in the Jungle Cup. We've got a couple moves here. Counter, Body Slam, Bulldoze. I was thinking for a little bit to just run him with Body Slam. There's only a couple instances where you need Bulldoze. But I decided to go ahead and get it just because it could bail you out of a couple situations. Let's see, who else we got here? Venusaur is a good example of using an extra move. So you got the Frenzy Plant, which actually hits really hard, but you might be up against something that is resisting grass moves, but susceptible to the poison moves. So the Sludge Bomb there will just give you a little more ability to take on more Pokemon, so that wasn't a bad spin. That was only $10,000 or 10,000 Stardust, excuse me. But when I find a Pokemon like Noctowl here, and I want to look at the moves, there's a couple things you wanna look at. So I've got PogoKieng here. We'll go find Noctowl. Good buddy Noctowl. Got this tab here for the move set here, which will show you all the moves they have available to them. So you can kind of go through and see the charge moves on the right there: Sky Attack, Psychic, Nightshade. Then if you scroll down, you can see the 2-bar moves or long bar move. The Psychic's going to take quite a while to charge up. So there's a couple Pokemon that have charge moves that are all just 1 bar. So generally I'm not going to use those Pokemon just because it's going to take forever to get anywhere with it, so you can erase that from your list to use. But anyway, you've got your set here. And you see on your Pokemon you've got Wing Attack and Psychic. So one of the websites that I like to use is PVPoke here. And this will be linked down in the description for anyone who wants to use it. But it's got the entire list of Pokemon here. This is really good because you can go to Jungle Cup and it just reduces it down. And look, Noctowl's number 5 here. So it's saying that the best moves for this cup in particular are Wing Attack, Sky Attack, Nightshade. Now if you look down to the right, you can see the percentage of usage for those charge moves, and this almost makes it look like Psychic's a better use. But if I'm reading this correctly, it just means that more people have put Psychic through the simulator than actually planned on using it. So your best moves to use are up here: Wing Attack, Sky Attack, Nightshade. You've got your key matchups here, so what you're going to beat, it looks like a lot of Bug. Venusaur is a nice touch to beat. And it looks like for the counters for Noctowl, you're basically watching out for anything that is electric. Alright, so we know what we're working with. We want Wing Attack, Sky Attack, Nightshade. We've got Wing Attack and Psychic. Now what this tells me is that if I'm going to get a new attack for 10,000 Stardust, it's going to be one of the two that I want. It's either going to be Sky Attack or Nightshade. So you'll automatically get one right off of the bat. With only 2 other options left, that tells you that you can also use your TM, the charge TM there, to change the Psychic to the Nightshade or Sky Attack, depending on which one, and it's a guaranteed changeover. You'll want to get that extra move before you use the TM, though, because if you just tried to TM Psychic to one of the other 2, you might not get exactly what you want. This is especially difficult when you've got someone with more than 3 moves, like say good old Hitmonchan. So you go to that moveset and you can basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different moves to choose from. So, you know, if you're got the one singular move and all you want to do is get Power-Up Punch, you might cycle through quite a number of TMs before landing on the move that you actually want. Even if you have the 2 moves, you still might have to burn through quite a few TMs to get exactly the moves you want. So the Stardust, while it can get expensive, and it does for someone like me who doesn't get to grind a lot, the TMs are probably what you want to think about most when you're spending your Stardust for moves. You've got pretty limited supply. The fast TMs come by fairly easy, but the charge TMs they're a little difficult. Then you've got, for the next resource we want to talk about, you got rare candies. So as you can see with Vespiquen here, I haven't found a lot of Comies out in the wild, so I don't have a lot of candies stocked up. You can see there the 50,000 Stardust and 50 rare candies needed for a new attack are just not in my inventory. So you can use the rare candies to, you know, supplement that, change them over to the Vespiquen Combi candies. I'm not real sure I'm going to do that quite yet. I want to see where I land with the rest of my team before I go through and make that kind of investment on Vespiquen. I mean, if we look at where Vespiquen is in the scheme of things here, we got, where you got? Number 16. You're looking at Bug Bite, X Scissor, and Power Gem. If you look at my Vespiquen, oops, I've got Poison Sting and Bug Buzz. So that means I have none of the moves that I really want to have here. Alright, if I scroll down further, go up to Power Up and Evolution, right there at the bottom, you can see it's going to power up to 1489 to 1490, which is fine. But you click on that, it's going to take 88,000 stardust and 86 candy. That's a fairly hefty investment for a Pokemon that I'm just going to use in this one tournament. So we'll see where the rest of my team lands. If I end up getting some more candies or a great golden pot filled with stardust, then maybe I might spend some time on Vespiquen. But right now, with it being CP 758, it's going to take a lot of resources to actually use. I'm going to have to use TMs to change all of the movesets. I'm going to have to use all the stardust. You've got the 50,000 plus the 88.5 thousand. So we're looking at what, 130 some? I can't do math that quick, but it's going to be a lot of stardust. Anyway, so the point of this is all, you can identify your team. You see I've got the jungle ones marked, the jungle ones marked, and then I've still got the JUNs there. The JUNs are ones that I may want to use, but I don't know if I have enough resources to use them. So we'll see how that goes. See what the team looks like. Anyway, so a couple of things regarding movesets. With the PokeGenie thing, you get this nice blanket kind of moveset effectiveness here. So if you go back to the little moveset tab, scroll down, you can actually click on the moves, like say Power Gem here. You have Pokemon with the move, so you can see all the other ones that have that move available. But if you go to typed effectiveness, you're looking at super effective, not very effective, neutral. Super effective for this cup, we've got bugs, so do very well. There's a lot of flying types here, so that should be okay. Not very effective to fighting ground and steel, so that's not a big deal. Neutral, we'll find the electric and the grass there, so neutral damage for this particular move. I'm told Power Gem is pretty powerful, so that might be a decent combination there. You can also use the Pokemon Go Hub database here, which again will be linked in the description. Find your Noctowl, say, and it'll open right up to the page of the type chart. So this one's going to be weak to electric, which is part of the meta, or part of the groups. So you want to make sure you watch out for that. But it also resists bug and grass. So Noctowl would provide a little bit of coverage there. You can click here on the left-hand side and change which ones you're looking at. A lot of people like Venusaur here. So you're looking at weaknesses to flying, resistances, pretty high resistance to grass, electric. Come up here to the moves. It'll give you all the move settings here. Anyways, a lot of resources to try and go through and decide if extra move is actually worth it. A lot of times, like my son in particular, will run in with just one move, and a lot of the people we play with don't really expect just to have to deal with one move. You got shield baits and all the strategy items, so you can get away with it most of the time just running the one singular move. So having the extra move isn't necessarily needed. It's just a little bit of strategy for shield baits, or like in Venusaur's case, you've got a big grass move and a big poison move. Gets you a lot of coverage. Alright, another website. We were kind of looking at PVP Poke here. I really enjoy this one, the way it's just kind of laid out. Able to get to things fast. Another website I've seen people use is the Poke Battler, which looks like it's pretty okay. It's got the Jungle Cup here right on the left, Great League on the right, and then it's also got slots for Ultra League, Master League if you feel like competing in those types of matches more. So the first one we'll click on here is Top 24. And this will basically give you what they have pegged as the top 24 Pokemon for this particular cup. You got Vigoroth with its moveset there, Fortress with the moveset. You can click on the little lines here and it'll pop it open and give you some stats about each move configuration. Go see more details. And it'll actually give you what it's good for general matchups, who it beats. I think it's top 24, yeah. As well as the top 24 counters for it. This is where this site kind of loses me, because you can really get roped into getting a Pokemon on your team that is only good for the one thing and doesn't offer a lot of coverage. So I generally stick to PvP Poke versus this one, just because I find it a little more friendly to use. But this will give you an idea on what the best movesets are. Does not really give you instances in which to use those movesets, which is probably the next item. If you're like me and you're not very good with type effectiveness, you can go over here to PvP Poke, and they've got the battle tab up at the top where you can select whatever Pokemon you like here. So let's go Vigoroth versus my favorite Pokemon, Masquerain. You can change what moves they're running. So we'll go to Bulldoze because I think that's what it likes. And this one will go Silver Wind, Ominous Wind. Change it up to one shield, and push battle here at the bottom, and it'll actually give you a nice simulation on what would happen. So you've got Vigoroth using the Body Slam for the first block. Masquerain's Ominous Wind's blocked, and then Vigoroth basically gets to 2 Body Slams before Masquerain gets to its next Silver Wind, which here it's got it marked as receiving its boost. This is okay. It'll give you a general idea of what it can win. Gives you this nice little graph here where it shows, 0 to 0 shields, who wins if Vigoroth shields once but Masquerain doesn't, who wins if they both shield once. So there's a lot of information that's just pretty straightforward here. You can also click on the sandbox mode. So say I was wanting to find a way to make Masquerain work the most efficiently, and I thought not shielding this first Body Slam would work. You could actually take that out, and then maybe I want to shield this one here. We can see, you can just kind of tinker around with it. You can change what move they're actually using and when they're using it. If you want to hold off on using another charge move, you can. Let's get update. Okay. Where you at? So instead of using the Ominous Wind, say you want to use another Air Slash here. So you're basically going one extra fast move beyond. You can kind of tinker with it and see where you're going. There's a lot of instances, strategy-wise, where if you do a couple extra fast moves, you can actually get the upper hand shield-wise. So that's that. I like this site, PvP Poke. Excuse me. The last thing I want to cover is the PVP IVs. This, I'm not a fan of the PvP IVs. So we got the website here at Go Stadium Club. Insert your Pokemon, insert the IV setting that they've got, and punch the view stats. Now, according to this, the number one is 115.15 for a CP of 14.99. A really bad one would be the 15.10.10, 14.76. Number one is level 29. 3866 is level 27. It makes sense that this one would be better than this one. Just because higher level, you're going to have different attack items. So if you bring it over to PvP Poke, and you can go to Advanced, put in the 115.15.29, go against another Vigoroth that's 15.10.10 at level 27. Same moves, no shields. Run the simulation. The number one beats the 3866 by 7 HP. That's pretty handy if you're not shielding, I guess. But you run it with one shield apiece, and there is no difference. 2 shields, no difference. They both faint at the same time. So I know the content creators do mention quite a bit that they've got better IVs than their opponent, or look for these IVs, but I don't see it when I'm doing the simulations or when I'm playing other people. You know, it doesn't make sense to me that this has any bearing on anything. You want to get closest to 1500, but as you can see, running 14.99 versus 14.76 with no shields, and there's only 7 HP difference. I mean, there's not a huge advantage to it, I guess. I mean, if we go to another one, like something else relevant to this cup, you've got the Alolan Golem. Number one is 114.15. Number 3892 ranked is 15.610. So we get this up. Oh, did I change that? 114.15. I think I moved it to the default. 114.15. This was 18. Same moves. No shields. Faint at the same time. I'm not saying it doesn't matter, because it very well might in some aspects, and it just doesn't play well in the simulator. But I don't see it anywhere. I don't see it when I'm applying it in the game. I don't see it in the simulators. So there are a lot of people out there that are better than me, so I tend to believe that there's a difference, so I will look for some PvP IVs and keep Pokemon that are rated fairly high that I catch. But if I'm telling you to go out and hunt for these perfect PvP IVs, I don't have the conviction to feel like I'm leading you down the right path. So there you have it. We got the Stardust usage. You want to think about what you're doing before you do it. If you're low on Stardust, sometimes using something that only costs 10,000 versus something that costs 50 to 75,000, you might be able to get by with the one that's a little cheaper to use. I'm probably going to be using some budget Pokemon for this tournament just because I'm so low. The TMs, rare candies, you can use them when you need to, but you really want to think about it before you do. If you're trying to configure something with multiple moves available to it, you could be running through a lot of those TMs, and they are not easy to come by. Best way to get them is obviously through raids. I only remember ever getting them from a tier 4 or tier 5. They can come through the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, but I don't think I've ever gotten them through there. You can also get them through your battles for the day. Make sure you're doing your leader battling with a couple other trainers during your day, and you might get those as a prize. As far as PvP IVs, they're a thing, People talk about them. People swear by them. I don't know. Just bring whatever you like that gets as close to 1500 CP as you can, and you should be good. Other than that, I'm gonna link some people below here if you're interested in a little more in-depth coverage on strategies. You've got Zyonik, I find is a very good watch. Battlehero is a lot of fun. Battlehero does a lot of pretty specific strategy type stuff and seems to have some fun doing it. And also King will be linked in the description. He's a very good battler. I find it's hard to follow exactly what he's doing sometimes, but I have picked up a few strategies that he's used. He will actually verbalize it exactly what he's doing from time to time, but usually just gotta watch him. But yeah, I'll link those below. I'm not the greatest strategist, but I do love the PvP. Anyways, that's all for today. Next video, we're going to go over pre-registration. I'm going to try and get registration for the Jungle Cup to time up here so we can see what that's like. And then we'll do start of the tournament. But until next time, we will see you later. Bye.